Thomas the Train, One Railway, Episode 5. Thomas in the Twilight Zone in Tower of Terror. Tonight's story is about last night's story, that little engine called Thomas the Tank Engine. He has just had a great hard day at work, and he can't wait to get back to his shed and rest. Well, when he gets back into his shed and fast asleep, you know how when you just did hard work, your mind tricks you. Well, that's what happens to Thomas the Tank Engine, but this time the mind tricks him in the Twilight Zone.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
One day, Thomas the Tank Engine just got finished with his work. Phew! I'm glad I'm finished with my work, said Thomas. And I'm glad that the signal light was changed that I could go, and the light was green. Then Thomas said, "Phew, at least I'm going down the not up," said Thomas. He kept going down the big hills of Sodor. Oh, I hope Sir Topham Hatt tells me that I was a really useful engine today, said Thomas. He kept going down the hills. Whoa, I'm tired today, said Thomas. I might fall asleep way before the other engines, and I bet I was the first one at the sheds because I got to work really, really early, and the other engines were still in their sheds trying to wake up. And so Sir Topham Hatt is probably going to give me an award, said Thomas. He couldn't wait to get back to the sheds, because if any engine is getting an award, Sir Topham Hatt usually goes to his shed. Then Thomas went by Knapford Station. He said hello to Tiger Moth. But there was trouble. Annie and Clarabelle were in the way. Harvey, I'm sorry, said Harvey. I have to get them out of the way. Well, hurry up, said Thomas. I'm very tired. Okay, fine, said Harvey. I'll hurry up. Then Harvey got Annie and Clarabelle out of the way, and Thomas could go. Bye, Thomas, said Harvey. He thinks I forgive him, said Thomas. He could hear something whistle. That was only a bird, said Thomas, or another engine. Then Thomas was right. Sir Topham Hatt was in the shed. Good job, Thomas, said Sir Topham Hatt. You did an excellent work today, and so I must say that you are a very useful engine. Thanks, said Sir Topham Hatt, but there's only one thing that I want to do. What's that? Said Sir Topham Hatt. I want to go to sleep. Okay, good night, said Sir Topham Hatt. It was very, very dark in the shed. And then Thomas said, "Oh, finally," said Thomas. then Thomas fell fast asleep. And then Thomas was thinking in his sleep, it's wonderful to be asleep. It's wonderful to be asleep. Then Thomas said, I'm in an elevator, he said. Ooh, let's see. On the wall, it has two pictures. One, the first guest, Van the vampire. Thomas thought, oh, it's probably a joke, said Thomas. Then it had another picture below it. The owner, he had no head. Woo! Thomas was shaking a little bit. Then it said, stop, stay in. Woo, woo. That gave Thomas the chills. And then Thomas saw the sign that they put up. Whoever checks in will never check out. I'm afraid, said Thomas. And then the elevator door closed, and then he went, and then it rose. It rose, and then it went back. Whoa! Thomas said. That was surprisingly scary, said Thomas. Then it went up again, and it dropped. Oh, help! Called Thomas. And then it went back up again, and then it went down. Thomas whistled. And then Thomas said, phew, finally it opened. I'm going to get out of here, said Thomas. And then Thomas pushed open the door. It was all just a dream, said Thomas.